Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Yes, my mothers, my great, beautiful mothers of the human race. Yeah, I have to remind you, my great, beautiful mothers, my mothers on Mother Planet Earth, that you are Muslim living human beings, and every grain of sand and every drop of water and every atom on Mother Planet Earth, they do know only one true religion, and that very most holy, extraordinarily holy, beautiful religion is Islam. So with that, I want to refer this interpretation of the holy ayahs of the Holy Quran to, we are going to look at health, and in respect of what we call life. Yes, we are going to look at health, but we are going to look at life. Yeah, my mothers of the human race, as I said, that every grain of sand, every grain of atom, or what you call water, every drop of water on Mother Planet Earth, and every other living creations, their religion is Islam. Their true religion is Islam. In that very special or holy interpretation, that means every human being on Mother Planet Earth is Muslim. Your religion is Islam. Whereby you as mothers, you are very, very well aware of what I did explain to you, that you were honored by Allah with the holy divine honor and the holy divine task, of which we saw that a mother has a celestial obligation task, or through the honor that was honored to female creations, to carry a creation in her womb. A womb is where a child, a creation that grows, it might be a baby girl, a baby boy, or twins. In that interpretation, you are required by the same holy divine, holy decrees that governs the grain of sand, or the soil, the water, and the trees, and all the plants, and whatever that is on this planet, to make sure that your children, the baby boy or baby girl, do not become a nuisance and do not engage in any practices of fitnah, because any practices which is outside the provision, holy divine provision and directives of laws of the Holy Quran, it is classified as fitnah. When you engage in drug selling, is that's fitnah. Weapons, that's fitnah. Bullying, when you are little, bullying is fitnah. Anything that makes you other human beings uncomfortable, where we can interpret as the secretion of other, or I mean the bullying, it falls under the category of psychological and physical mutilation of others. In that, you as a mother who carried the child in your womb for 9 months, when the baby cried, you would run, and when she urinated against, or when he urinated against him, so you run and clean them. That task, that very beautiful whatever that you did when those boys were little, or those girls were little, continues until that child is 20 years old, if she's a girl. Why? Why 20 years? Because when she's 20 years, she's able, her body is able enough, strong enough to go on the 200,000 kilometers per second, of which you took as a marathon in the 8 near galaxies, in order to conceive. I mean, when you conceive, in order to have to get a mapping of Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Assalam Akbar, Ahad, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah. That marathon went on for 9 months. As a result, you have a baby, very, very beautiful girl, or you may be in your 80s, your 50s, and your children have got what now you are a grandmom. You have children. With that, mothers, I would remind you that it's very, very important to keep every activity, every aspect of your lives free from fitna. Fitna is when you engage in practices which are not under the holy divine provision and directive and laws that governs your societies as human beings. When you engage in human trafficking, that's fitna. When you engage in bullying, psychological and physical mutilation of others, that is fitna. When you engage in deception, lying, and perjury, any sort of whatever that, when it enters your head and you are whatever that you are doing it because you have a desire, you have a lust, you have what you call some people, they have what you call some kind of hate, some kind of vendetta. You have a vendetta on someone. That is all under the what we call fitna. In that you have a vendetta, a hate, or whatever, you may end up in a whatever that you are manufacturing weapons. Manufacturing weapons, which may begin on a whatever and end up whatever this causing disunity in your communities. Oh, these are whatever these people are, their color pigment is there somehow, and these are we. So that kind of thing where you look at yourself and say this color is different. You as human beings, you are required by holy divine law to dispense tranquility, peace and tranquility, and the beauty, the best beauty of it. So that you do not, and when you do that, to dispense that tranquility, peace, and harmony, you do it in a very, very beautiful heart. Listen, when you look at flowers, Allah created flowers. That's when I tell you, plant flowers, plant vegetables, plant things that reminds you each and every one of you, your celestial obligation to keep the most holy, beautiful religion in Islam clean from every practices of a fitna that you engaged in for a long, long time, which resulted in what you can, what is very evident on either on TV screen or wherever you go, whenever you switch on the TV screen, you hear of atrocities, of which Mother Nature to say is my children. These were things that accumulated accumulated over years of impunity. And when you thought human were enjoying, but how can you enjoy the spilling of blood of your fellow human being? Huh? The wailing of mothers who have lost their children. The wailing of mothers who for instance, for me, I refer this whatever to when in the Second World War, many of my great beautiful children from my mothers of Israel or the Jewish part of me, we are kind of put in a very something I don't want to put in my mouth, which is called a Holocaust. A Holocaust which forced me to go from England, where I was as a little white boy, to go to war. When I got to the age that when the Second World War started, I was forced to train and go and put a stop to what was going on in Auschwitz. And in the Auschwitz and those parts in Auschwitz, which is Poland, and some parts of Germany. So that way, I have to remind you, my mothers, that many of you do somehow doubt my integrity. No, never. Because when you do, it's you who is hurting yourself. And when you hurt yourself, it always spells very dirty problems in your whatever. That's which I never want. If you have ever listened to my videos, if I had enough space and freedom, I would show you exactly how beautiful life is. I would show you how beautiful life is. So that way, I do ask my mothers on Mother Planet Earth, that mothers of my great beloved mothers of China, my great beloved mothers of Japan, my great beloved mothers of America, my great beloved mothers of Russia, my great beloved mothers of Ukraine, my great beloved mothers of Sweden, my great beloved mothers of any country on this planet. I would say your love for life is my love, because it's through love for life that you are able to carry a child in your womb. And that love doesn't come easy. Allah gives it to you, and He puts it whenever you try to overflow over whatever, Allah puts it together and say, yes, look at this very beautiful flower. Look at this very beautiful region. Look at life and its beauty and fragrances. If you handle it in a very careful way, you are indeed people bound to have peace and tranquility and joy and very healthy children and very healthy yourselves. In that, Allah did put what He says, these are my holy divine laws. Some of them are very direct. Some of them I say, you can walk around and find out if you hit your foot on the stone. Next time you put that stone, you pick that stone, put that aside. You read the Quran and say, Allah has, according to this, Allah has forbidden men in engaging in such and such. Because there's some direct laws which says, don't consume alcohol. Don't consume alcohol. As simple as that. In the consumption of alcohol, there are so many things that can make every other member of your societies become unhappy. So that way, Allah says, my true creations, alcohol is forbidden, either to you as men or to women, in order to protect your dignities, your beauty, to the integrity to life in every aspect of what you do. If you take alcohol, you will become things that are worthless, because in that process of you that you are under the influence of alcohol, you are bound to manufacture weapons, causing what things that are in your mind, because alcohol, the largest part of alcohol in your body, once your body goes into what is circulated with so much toxin gunk of alcohol, it enters into what men and women explains as paranoia. Paranoia. That is when you are in a state when the body, the alcohol in every muscle tissue, alcohol switches on what you call a decaying, rotting, and boiling effect, which causes paranoia in your every muscle tissue and every joint in your body. So that way, my mothers, I did beg that every mother who can work out and get themselves to the United Nations, World Health Organization offices, and interpret the beauty of life to your children's great future, that your children do not have to go through these whatever diseases that whereby the crazy men in modern, in 20 January 27, 2026, we fight the disease by creating more disease. That's a statement when a person is under unconscious state, under the influence of a very certain deadly drug that you are unconscious, but you think you can fight disease. I told you, disease was created by Allah as an army of Allah, the same way created you human beings. In this beautiful religion, Allah says, cleanse your arms. And I've commanded that you have 5 daily prayers. The dawn prayer, Dhuhr prayer, as well as Asr, Maghrib and Isha. In that, you rinse your nose, you rinse your every part of you, your private parts, everything. So that these living grain of dust, which are organisms, they are organisms, so they don't cause you disease. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.